What would you do to get your kids to read?
I've tried pleading. I've tried candy.
Food, TV.
Letting him stay up late.
It was heavy negotiations. We even had to have a contract.
Now you don't have to bargain or plead to get your kids to read. Just give them Sports Illustrated for Kids. Here's why.
It's exciting, so they're excited to read it.
Sports Illustrated for Kids is a fun magazine.
He's always reading and always asking us questions.
We have found Mark blooming with reading.
Kids love everything from the puzzles and posters to the sports stars, mazes, and games.
I like the trivia math questions because it helps me on my math skills.
I like Hot Shots because it tells about kid athletes.
They're excited to turn the page because of the fact that they can read about their hero as well as children their age.
Fun Facts Know and Tell is what Mark will use to stump Dad.
I like Buzz Beamer a lot because he's a goof.
Sports Illustrated for Kids is more than just fun, it's an education.
This opens up avenues to all sorts of educational values.
Sportsmanship,
Self-esteem.
Teamwork.
they're learning, they don't even realize it.
As a coach, it really helps the kids learn how to play the game.
Sports Illustrated for Kids should be in every classroom.
Call now and get a year's worth of Sports Illustrated for Kids for 4 monthly installments of $5.99. Save over 20% off the cover price. Your kids will love getting it in the mail with their name on it.
He's proud to have his name on. He's proud. He feels like he's a part of something much bigger.
Give it to your children or grandchildren today.
Our granddaughter is 10 years old, and she insisted that we give her a subscription to Sports Illustrated for Kids because all the kids at school were talking about it.
Giving Sports Illustrated for Kids is a gift of learning, a gift for a lifetime.
So call now, use your credit card, and discover what millions of parents already know. That Sports Illustrated for Kids is the magazine that your kids will love.
Now that Mark is reading, I can't get him to stop reading.
My son is reading now because of Sports Illustrated for Kids.
We think reading is #1 in importance, and this is an easy way to start that process.
Sports Illustrated for Kids is an awesome magazine.
Scott Case has played a whale of a game today, putting the hits on. Out of the shotgun and 4 wide receivers again against the Cowboy nickel with Bates in the middle. Here's a pass in the flat, picked up by the Cowboys. Larry Brown may score at the 30.
The Dallas Cowboys have won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Will 1996 bring yet another Vince Lombardi trophy? 29 other NFL teams are out to stop them. The National Football League. No other professional sport has such compelling appeal. Witness the artistry. The intensity. The spectacle.
Marcus Allen dives over for the touchdown for Kansas City. His 100th career rushing touchdown.
Move over, James Lofton. You've just been passed by Jerry Rice in the record book.
And Dan Marino has the granddaddy of them all now. Most touchdown passes ever.
It's America's autumn ritual, stirring up passions that only a hometown fan can understand. I'm Peter King of Sports Illustrated, your host for the 1996 Philadelphia Eagles Video Yearbook, featuring a retrospective of the '95 Eagles entitled Respect, a blue-collar team that earned its success the hard way. A special Eagles Classics segment, the back-to-back championship teams of 1948 and 49. And a look at today's Eagles, the proven stars and those on the rise. How do they stack up against the defending Super Bowl champs? Let's take a look at the 1996 Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles do not have one dominating superstar. Instead, they have a dominant team personality, and it comes from head coach Ray Rhodes.
I think it's rare in the NFL that you can say that a head coach is the most important guy on the team. Usually it's the quarterback or it's some unit or collection of players. But to me, the most important player on the Eagles is their coach, Ray Rhodes.
He's got something inside that a lot of coaches are afraid to use, and maybe he's got some inside that other coaches don't have. A risk taker, a guy that's tough, hard-nosed, not afraid of a challenge, and he meets everything head on.
That's what we talked about. We got to go out and fight to get what we want, man. We got to fight for it. Nothing's going to be easy. Another big one I said coming up this week. But we got to continue to fight, man, and believe in each other, because right now we got something going, we got to keep it going. Taste of victory tastes great in your mouth, man. Tastes great. We got to go keep fighting for it. We won, we got to fight for it.
Ray Rhodes makes no bones about it. He says to his players flat out, you don't get the job done, in 2 weeks, I'm going to get another batch of players. So I think that there's this living on the edge kind of quality about the Eagles that Ray Rhodes has brought to them that they needed desperately.
If there is one standout player on the Eagles, it is running back Ricky Watters, whose blend of power and agility makes him one of the league's best.
You know, before the year in 1995, I took a lot of ribbing from people because I predicted that Ricky Watters was going to win the rushing title. I just think Ricky is irrepressible in every sense of the word. He's a guy who, you know, if you tell him you're not going to beat out Emmitt Smith for the rushing title, and he's just going to take it personally, and he's going to use that. He's going to have a few sleepless nights, and he's going to say, I am going to win the rushing title. So I think that that was a real important thing that the Eagles had lacked, that kind of swagger that Ricky translated into pretty good performance on the field.
Well, I'll tell you, Rick is a leader. He's been a part of a championship football team. He's been good in the locker room. He's one of the guys that when our players get a little down or whatever, Rick is one of those guys that always pick people up and say, hey, man, we can get this done. I know we can get it done. I've been there. This is what we have to do as a football team. And he's been very positive in our locker room.
Watters is lucky enough to have two talented quarterbacks handing him the ball this season. First is Rodney Peete, the surprise quarterback who led the Eagles to a playoff victory last season and looks to do it again this year. He is joined by first-year Eagle Ty Detmer.
Ty Detmer has such a good history with John Gruden and with Ray Rhodes, John Gruden being the offensive coordinator of the Eagles, from their days in Green Bay together. And one of the things they really like about Detmer is his ability, even though he's not a big guy, you know, he'll be one of the smaller quarterbacks in the NFL, is his ability to make decisions on the run without getting it all nervous.
Wide receiver Irving Pryor is a prime target for the two signal callers, and he is someone who certainly got used to pinpoint passes from his days in Miami. The tradition is continuing for Pryor this year, as his first year in Philadelphia has added an extra dimension to the Eagles' passing attack.
What Ray Rhodes likes in Irving Pryor is big game experience. He's played in all different kind of climates, which is going to come in handy in the NFC East. And the other thing I think that the Eagles like about him at this stage of his career is that he's really got to fight for the ball.
Troy Vincent is another ex-Dolphin fighting for the ball in Philadelphia this season.
Well, Troy Vincent is one of the top corners in the league. You know, he's a young man that I've really followed throughout his college career and also as a pro. And he's only been one of those guys that makes plays week in and week out. He's going to enable our football team to be a little bit more aggressive, play a little bit more man-to-man coverage, to blitz a little bit more, do some of the things we like to do as a football team. And Troy is a top player that will get his chance to match up with some of the top receivers in the league.
Troy Vincent really wanted to come home. He's from near Philadelphia, and he really kind of missed a lot of things about his home. So he comes back, and I think one of the important things that he adds to a team is that this is a team that's lost two good corners. Eric Allen, a very good corner, and Mark McMillan, a pedestrian corner bordering on being pretty good. And they lost these two guys, and they're replacing them just with guys. Now they bring in Troy Vincent. I think Vincent adds a Pro Bowl corner to a secondary that really needed some moxie and some ability.
Vincent's secondary will rely on pressure from up front, and the leader of that front seven is linebacker William Thomas.
He's a great athlete, outstanding hands, speed, coordination. Again, he's another one of our leaders on our football team. You know, he's a guy that brings a lot to the football field. A very smart young man, plays at a high level every week, and we're very excited about William Thomas.
William Thomas continues to be an unknown quantity except among offensive coordinators who have to scratch their heads every week trying to figure out how to play the guy. I think that when the Eagles really underwent their defensive transformation, I think the biggest fear was that they weren't going to have that front seven presence that guys like Reggie White and Seth Joyner had given them. And I think that although, he's not as vocal and as much of a holler guy, as some other guys in the league, William Thomas has really given them the presence, both on the inside and outside. I think he's been a surprisingly good outside player that they were unable to foresee when they lost their big stars. I think he's been a really good addition for them.
Andy Harmon is another major force on the Eagle defense.
I think Andy Harmon is the one real holdover from the Buddy Ryan days who you see continuing to make plays for this team. And really, he's become, with a new contract he signed, he's become a real focal point for this defense to build around. I think that the thing that Ray Rhodes really likes about this guy is that he never takes a play off. I mean, if you watch him late in fourth quarters, you're going to see him with the same motor he had in the first quarter. So I think that he's real valuable to this team because everybody who's good in the NFL playing defense, every team that's good, has a good interior pass rush. He provides this to the Eagles.
Andy is one of those guys that might not look the part every once in a while, but he gets the job done. He's one of the tackles that plays with a tremendous amount of effort, slips and slides around, but he makes a ton of plays for us. He's been one of our outstanding football players on our team. He's a leader, a guy that doesn't say very much, but his performance speaks for itself.
Eagles fans are counting on the team's performance to speak for itself.
As you can see, the 1996 Eagles possess some impressive football talent. Last year, Philadelphia was one of the most compelling stories in the NFL. With first-year coach Ray Rhodes firmly in control, the Eagles won 10 games, earning a wild card playoff berth. The 1995 Philadelphia Eagles were all about respect. And by the end of the season, no team and no coach were more respected than the Eagles and Ray Rhodes.
In sports, all too often, eccentricity has taken the place of performance. Celebrity, the place of character. We seem to live in a time of diminished expectations, of lowered standards. And then there's Ray Rhodes. Those smoldering, hot-coal eyes revealed a man who believed in hard work and pride. He demanded from his players all-out effort, all the time. And from opponents and fans, the respect that effort deserved. Owner Jeffrey Lurie made an outstanding choice in selecting Rhodes. And the 1995 Eagles reflected Lurie's bold vision and Rhodes' dynamic aggressiveness.
We expect to win. We don't just go out there hoping that we win, hoping we do pretty good. We expect to win every ball game that we're in. I don't care who we play.
1, 2, 3, win!
The opponent could be the Dallas Cowboys on a cold December Sunday at Veterans Stadium. Or it could be the Arizona Cardinals with a playoff berth at stake and a 17-0 deficit to overcome. Or it could be the Detroit Lions on Wild Card Saturday when the experts and your opponent expect you to be soundly beaten at home. The result was rather convincing. The home team had dominated from beginning to end. For the Eagles, it was all about respect. And by the end of the 1995 season, no team
and no coach had earned more respect than the Philadelphia Eagles and Ray Rhodes. The 1995 season began with great anticipation, yet few results. There were home losses to Tampa Bay and San Diego, followed by a disheartening defeat in Oakland. After 4 weeks, the Eagles had won only once, on the road in Phoenix.
Intercepted by William Thomas. Touchdown! Willie T scampers all the way home.
Yet the seeds of the coming Renaissance were being planted, particularly in a new gospel that was far removed from the old conventional wisdom. Rhodes believed you play to win every game. Against the Cardinals, that meant a change at quarterback.
Back goes Pete. He's looking. He fires. Complete for a touchdown as he goes to Fred Barnett on a post. Rodney Pete put it on the money.
Rodney Pete directed the 31-19 victory. Winning was the only gospel for Rhodes. He understood that the season was not a marathon, but rather 16 sprints to be run 1 week at a time. On the season's 5th Sunday, Pete was the quarterback, and the West Coast offense Rhodes had brought from San Francisco had become a passing fancy. In its place was a commitment to running the football, with Ricky Watters the focus. Again, another reflection of Rhodes. Put the burden on your big-time players. The defense was led by rookie defensive end Mike Mamula, as the Eagles did what was necessary to secure a tough road win over the Saints. A week later, at the vet, Watters and Charlie Garner exploded against the Washington Redskins. The numbers were staggering. For Watters, 25 carries, 139 yards, plus 11 receptions for 90 more yards. Garner rushed for 120 yards on only 9 carries, and 3 of those carries went for touchdowns.
The give goes to Garner off left tackle. He's at the 50, at the 10, at the 5. Third touchdown of the day by Charlie Garner.
Yet it would take overtime for Gary Anderson to give Philadelphia a 37-34 victory.
The ball spotted. The kick is away. The kick is good. It's good. It's good. And the game is over and the Eagles win.
Guys, I'm not proud of everybody, man. Woo! We hung there and kept fighting, kept fighting. Kept fighting, man. That's the thing I enjoyed. We kept fighting. Took it in overtime. Still fighting, man. We're finding a way to win. We're finding a way to win. That's what this game's about. We got to find a way to win every week. Teams are going to respect our football team, too, because they saw a champion out there fighting back.
Right, true that.
We're going to get to where we want to be, guys. We'll get there. We'll get there, but we got to hang together. We got to continue to believe in each other. Believe in each other and hang together, guys, because we can get it done.
Great. Great.
Yes, sir, baby. Thanks, Moon.
The Eagles were becoming Ray Rhodes' team. Fighters, men who refused to accept anything less than their best.
Courage and grit.
That's great.
The group of men that Rhodes went to war with were Philly kind of people, long on effort and pride and fight. Philadelphians sensed a soulmate in this tough career football man from rural Texas, and they took into their embrace Rhodes and his team of stars, seasoned vets, retreads, rejects, reclamations, and outstanding rookies that he handpicked. The first-year head coach brought in more than 30 new players, but Rhodes was not rebuilding. He was looking for players who could win, and any edge he could find. In 1995, his special talent was that he was able to mold a group of men into a team of winners. Against the New York Giants on the third Sunday in October, the Eagles won for the third straight week. Ricky Watters followed his extraordinary Redskins performance with another outstanding game, rushing 30 times for 122 yards. The defense did not allow a touchdown, and they scored one of their own.
Picked up by Zornich. He's at midfield. 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5. Touchdown, Mike Zornich!
After victories over the Giants and the St. Louis Rams, the Eagles had won 4 straight.
Johnson's across the 10, across the 5, touchdown, Eagles!
In the NFL, if you run the football and play good defense, you have a chance to win every week. As the season reached its halfway point, the Eagles were doing both.
Gives to Garner. Garner looks, bounces to the outside 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20. Garner at the 10, 5. Garner for the touchdown! Charlie Garner!
Ricky Watters, after a disreputable debut, had turned his season around. His effort mirrored the passion and commitment of the city he played for. And his performance put him in the Eagles record book. His 1,273 yards was the third best single-season rushing total in franchise history. In the Eagles' backfield, Watters was the thunder. Charlie Garner was the lightning. Garner's 5.4 yards per carry average was the best in the NFL. Yet Rhodes and his coaching staff were not constrained by any philosophy. Against the Denver Broncos on a Sunday night in November, the Eagles threw the ball on 16 of their first 20 plays. The result? A 31-13 victory that also featured 2 Ricky Watters touchdowns. On defense, William Fuller recorded an NFC best 13 quarterback sacks. William Thomas led all NFL linebackers with 7 interceptions, the most by any linebacker in more than a decade. Thomas and Fuller would make the Pro Bowl. Andy Harmon should have. In this era of overpriced, often underachieving free agents, Rhodes sought out hungry, unemployed players, truck drivers, liquor store clerks, men who had something to prove and were willing to do anything to prove it. Daniel Stubbs, Kevin Johnson, and Ronnie Dixon were all out of football in 1994. In 1995, they combined for almost 100 tackles and 11 quarterback sacks. This patchwork unit dominated the Giants as the Eagles swept their division rivals. It was their 6th win in their last 7 games. The victory was also highlighted by Ricky Watters' longest run of the season, a 57-yarder that set up the first of 2 Rodney Peete touchdown passes.
Goes Peete, takes the corner, he looks, he lobs it for the end zone. Touchdown!
For the second consecutive week, Watters would score 2 rushing touchdowns. He would make it 3 games in a row the following week against the Washington Redskins.
Gives to Watters. He's at the 5, and he is in for the touchdown, Ricky Watters.
Rookie cornerback Bobby Taylor helped secure the Eagles' 8th victory of the season.
Intercepted at midfield. Bobby Taylor across the 40.
As November came to a close, the Eagles had become one of the NFL's most compelling stories. They were more grit than glitter, more spit than polish. Most of all, they were winners. December came, and the Eagles were 8-4, fighting for the right to play in January. With young men of promise and veterans reborn, this team captured the hearts and imagination of the country's most passionate fans. Never was this more evident than on a December Sunday in Philadelphia. The opponent, the Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Eagles?
5 weeks earlier, the Eagles were losers in Texas Stadium. They did not play Ray Rhodes football. On the Saturday night before the rematch, he reminded them of that. In fact, he insisted on a number of things.
I can't really tell you about it because it would be censored. It'd just be beep, 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 and furthermore, beep, beep.
It was graphic. It was colorful.
The message was really about respect. And he was telling us about, hey, the way you gain respect is to go out there and fight.
Let's get some respect, man. Defense on point.
Here's a situation where Dallas Cowboys didn't respect us. You know, it was like they were breaking into our house and taking food off of our table and, you know, victimizing our family. He used those type of analogies.
The message got through. The message got through in his own way. He said what had to be said, what really was just, we had to stand up and be accounted for.
The Eagles fell behind 17-3, but this time they kept fighting. They would earn their respect.
Gotta get it done some kind of way today, man.
It's nut check time, man.
Gotta get it done. Gotta get it done.
No game better defined what Ray Rhodes and the Philadelphia Eagles were all about. It began with respect. It would end with victory.
3rd and goal. Handoff to Watters. He's in. Touchdown. And the Eagles are back in this game. They go to Emmitt Smith. He throws the football. The Eagles have it. The Eagles have it at the 2. It's Michael Zornic who comes up with the ball at the 2.
4th and 1. That's how this game will be remembered.
Here's the ball game. Barry Switzer makes the call. Eagles can win it if they stop the Cowboys here. They give it to Smith. He doesn't make it. They stop him. The Eagles take over on downs. The Eagles take over on downs.
The referees are talking. We've got some problems.
Oh, they're going to call the 2-minute warning. They're going to say it was no play. Eagles stopped them once. Can they stop them again?
Twice in a row, the Cowboys opt to go for it. It just reinforced everything that Ray had been telling the players. You know, Ray had told them the night before, these guys don't respect you. And here come the Cowboys in this critical situation, making a decision that absolutely says that these guys don't respect you. And if you watch the way that those guys sucked it up and stopped them twice in a row, it was almost like that they took that energy that they had in the meeting the night before, you know, kind of what Ray told them. And they kind of said, we'll show you. You know, we're going to show you.
Here we go, 4th down. They give it to Smith and they stop him again! They stop him again! And this time they can't take it away from the Eagles. The same play.
That's it.
Ball is spotted. The kick is away. It's long enough. It's gone! Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys 20-17.
That's not your nuts drop, baby! Guys, a couple of things what I want to say to everybody in the room. The fact that, hey, we all believed in what we could do. We talked about it. We talked about what we had to do, and we went out and did it today. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. With every man to a man fighting to get this thing done. Team win. A big team win for everybody.
The following week, against the Cardinals, the playoffs would be the prize of victory.
Derek Witherspoon, who takes it at the 14, starts up the center of the field to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 midfield, down the near sideline to the 35, 30. He's gone! Touchdown, Derek Witherspoon! Back goes Pete. He's looking. He is loading it from there. He got the touchdown! Pete back under a rush, goes over the middle and completes it. Breaking free is Calvin Williams. He's at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! The game is tied and the Eagles can take the lead with the extra point. 40 seconds to go. 40 seconds separating the Eagles from a home playoff game. Back again goes Craig. It's intercepted by Thomas. His 7th of the season, and this game is history. And that will do it as the Eagles are zeroing in on their 10th win of the season, and there will be a home playoff game.
Get some respect, man. Time to get some respect. Some respect. Respect.
The Eagles had finished 10-6. They had won 9 of their final 12. They had dominated the NFC East. All that seemed to escape the attention of Lomas Brown, the Lions tackle who guaranteed an easy Detroit victory.
Nothing more to say. We're going to do our talking on the field today. Ain't got nothing else to say. Mitchell on first down. He fires. It's deflected. It's intercepted. It's picked off by McGill to Warner off the right side at the 10, at the 5. Charlie Warner is in for the touchdown.
Charlie Garner's first quarter touchdown was only the beginning. It was followed by one of the most memorable 15 minutes in NFL playoff history. The Eagles would score 31 second quarter points.
He sets. He looks. He is looking for Barnett. Touchdown! Pete to Fred. Here goes Mitchell. He's setting up. He lets it go. Intercepted. It's intercepted. And running down with the football for a touchdown is Barry Wilbur. It's a 24-7 Eagles lead, and the Lions don't know what hit them. The Lions don't know what hit them.
The Eagles dominated the favored Lions in every area. They would become only the second team in NFL postseason play to score more than 30 points in a quarter.
Mitchell again with a short drop. He fires, and it's Michael Bennett. Deep to Warner. Touchdown! All day!
The quarter would end with one of the most extraordinary plays of the 1995 season.
Rhodes is thinking, I want another shot. Back goes Pete. He loads up. He is floating it deep down the far side of the field. For a touchdown by Rob Carpenter. Rob Carpenter's water in the end zone. I don't believe it. Light it up. Light it up. That is the most points the Eagles have ever scored in a playoff game. And they've done it in the first half. The Eagles, 38. The Lions, 7. Back goes Pete. He is moving it for Waters. He's got it. 25, 20, 15, 10. Waters high steps into the end zone for a touchdown. They are loving it here in the Bay. Lomas.
The only thing you can guarantee is that you're going to die. That's it. Back goes Mikowski. He pumps, he looks, he fires. It's deflected or intercepted. William Thomas at the 20, at the 15, at the 10, cuts back at the 5. William Thomas for the touchdown. And this one's history.
History was made as the Eagles finished with 58 points, a franchise record. and the most scored in an NFL playoff game in 38 years.
All week long, we heard how people around the country didn't believe in us. I told you guys all along what's important is the guys inside this locker room right here. The guys inside this locker room who believe in each other. Who believe in each other. We believed all year in our football team and what we get accomplished. And today we had to go out and show people that they can't guarantee anything as long as we believe in each other and go out and fight and stick together for 60 minutes, man. We're going to be hard to beat. Be hard to beat, man. All right? So just let's keep believing, man, because we can get it done.
What Ray Rhodes and the Philadelphia Eagles achieved in 1995 surprised everyone except Ray Rhodes.
My expectations are extremely high. I came into the season with a prediction we'd win 12 games this year. Fell a little short, but again, our team strived to get those things done.
Rhodes fell a game shy, but the league's finest coaching effort was rewarded. Rhodes was the NFL Coach of the Year. Respect had been earned. Winning accomplished. For Rhodes, that's the bottom line.
Now that you've seen the Eagles highlight, let's take a trip back into Philadelphia history. The years 1948 and 1949. The post-war boom was going strong, and in the NFL, the Eagles ruled. They were champions both seasons, featuring the finest runner of the era and a defense that did not allow a point in either championship game. The 1948 and 49 Philadelphia Eagles, blue-collar champions all the way.
They had fought on the battlefields of World War II, plied their trades on farms and in steel mills. Now, in the late 1940s, they were members of the Philadelphia Eagles, the best team in the NFL.
All of these players are high-class, quality people, overachievers as athletes and as human beings. We used to go out to practice, and we were out there, and we would have a workout on the field an hour before the coaches ever showed up. That part was done. Then we could go to something else that they wanted to do. And that's because all these guys were wanting so badly to be champions. That's the kind of a team we had.
For 3 straight years, these dedicated Eagles were the perfect blend of brains, power, and grace. Well schooled by their coach, future Hall of Famer Earl Greasy Neal.
Now, Greasy Neal knew how to build a ball club. He came here in 1941 and installed the T formation. Now, we had a lot of good ball players. Neal knew a lot of talent. He knew how to pick talent, and he built the ball club, and come game time, school was out. We were ready to do business on Sunday.
The partially blind Thompson directed the Eagles' attack, setting a league record for touchdown passes, even though he didn't always see eye to eye with his coach.
Sometimes he was really funny because he used to try to see what Greasy was going to throw the plays at us, and he was blind in one eye, he couldn't see. He said, the heck with the coach. He used to get on the ground and give us the play. You go here, you go there, and that's how we ran some of our plays.
Whatever their methods, the offense purred as smoothly as a 48 Packard rolling along NFL highways. The stars included such names as Pihos, Kilroy, Bednarik, Wojciechowicz, and a slippery little runner known as the crooning halfback.
On the sideline, I used to do a little singing. Actually, I used to sing along with the records. I was a disc jockey at one time during the late 40s on WDAS. That was the station, I think, where they had the horse results. And if we ever had time, we would play a record. When they played the big bands during those days, if they didn't have a vocal on it, I used to sing along with the up-tempo, like, I can't give you anything but love, baby, you know, this type thing. And since I had played pro ball with a championship team, I was accepted a little more than John Doe would have been, you might say. Didn't have to be good, just took guts.
Most of the high notes on Philadelphia's hit parade came from a Honduras-born halfback named Steve Van Buren, number 15, the dominant player of his era.
Van Buren, in that period, in the 40s, was the best running halfback in pro football. Not only running halfback, he was a great blocker, great receiver, And he was also a real good defensive player. He was an exceptional athlete. At 215 pounds, I've seen him run out at Franklin Field on the track. I've seen him run 9.5, 9.6. He was a rare athlete. He's a type of player that comes along maybe once every generation.
In our scheme of play with Van Buren, you know, like it's 3rd down and 1. Everybody knows where the ball's going to go, so you better open up a hole or he's going to hit you in the back. And that would hurt more if he hit you. He would roll him over. Because I can remember in one game where he told us not to block the tackle. And I said, he's my man. He said, rookie, I told you not to block him. Because he had hurt Bosch Pritchard, and he just hit him and drove him 8 yards, and we never had a problem with that guy anymore.
In their 2 championship wins, the biggest problem for the Eagles was the weather more than the opposition. In 1948, against the Cardinals, a blinding blizzard turned Philadelphia's Shibe Park into a winter blunderland.
The field is covered. Both teams had to help roll the canvas and snow and all off the field. It took us an hour and a half to clear the field to play the game. And we were tired by the time it started.
It was so much snow that at times I couldn't see their safety man from my halfback position. And we had no sidelines, no markers at all. You had to guess when you're out of bounds.
I knew what the first play was going to be. Wherever we had the ball on the field, we were going to throw a forward pass, which we did and completed it. I anticipated the count and got off on the ball because only 2 of us moved. It was Pihos and I, and everybody retreated. Reggie said, don't get off sides because we'll score on this play. And Pihos stayed, and I continued to go, and Tommy threw me the ball. I caught it in the snow. I didn't know how I ever caught the ball. We got up and ran for a touchdown. I saw the flag. I wondered who was offsides or who was in motion. I was going to kill the guy that was offsides until they said I was offside. We went for 72 yards, but it was called back. But we won the ball game. That's the most interesting thing.
With the championship riding on his shoulders, Steve Van Buren blasts off right tackle for the game-winning touchdown. And the Philadelphia Eagles become the 1948 world champions by a score of 7-0.
A year later, in a Southern California quagmire, it was Van Buren sloshing for a league record 196 yards as the Eagles defeated the Rams.
They forgot about me. In fact, they said they weren't worried about me anymore, but they were going to worry about the other halfback. They stopped him, but they didn't stop me.
2 touchdowns proved more than enough as Philadelphia overcame the Rams and the swamp-like turf. The Eagles posted record back-to-back shutouts in their championship victories, a feat that may never be equaled.
We won the championship 2 straight years, and we were not scored on. And just getting back, having fellowship with about 30 of the greatest men. The Eagles and the 48 and 49 team, everybody was happy. We were a family. There were no cliques. We didn't know what the other guy made. We didn't care. The money was not what we were playing for, because we loved it. We played for the love of the game.
They were men from tiny southern towns and teeming Midwestern cities, underpaid in salary, but enriched by lasting friendships and enduring memories. They were the world champion Philadelphia Eagles, a flesh and blood symbol of success in the boom times of prosperous post-war America.